Hi, welcome back to this channel. Today we are going to be looking into your August 2024 reading. We will see what might or is likely to happen for you in August 2024. I'm going to keep the messages short, quick, and to the point. This is one of the videos where I will not dive a lot into energy unless it's absolutely needed. And then I know you all love it when I give you a message from the book. So, of course, there's going to be a message from a book. Hi, pile number one. The card that you selected was communication. And we're going to start with your reading now. It's very interesting, when I saw the card, then I immediately felt a little lump in my throat, which is to say that I think in the month of August, you're kind of like clearing your hesitance and your roadblocks and your speed breakers, like you're steering through everything a little bit more smoothly. So if till now you have been a bit more hesitant, or you were afraid to come into your true power, you were afraid to speak up, you had a lot on your mind but you didn't know how to express. And expression doesn't always have to be external. Sometimes it's also our personal, like, expression to our own selves, right? Like what we own to our own selves. Be honest with our own selves. So I think a lot of that is going to get cleared in the month of August, and you would feel that I'm able to communicate with myself what I want more clearly. I'm able to communicate with others. I'm able to also express myself in my truth. So I'm not struggling anymore in depicting who I am. I am being honest and truthful and healthily communicative. Okay. There is, although, one thing which I just want to get out of the way, and then I'll elaborate on it later also if it comes to me. Either in the month of August or whatever, like the months leading up to August, I think there has been just a lot of grief. Maybe some people in this pile may have lost a loved one, or they may have been grappling with too much of responsibilities and duties because a loved one required their presence and a responsible side to yourself. Like, maybe you could have a parent figure who's sick, and hence you really had to step up to be there for your family. Or there may have been some sort of loss in your family, a human loss. I'm sorry about that. I do feel that this is also slightly a period when you might be grieving a little bit more about it. This is also to say that if this is not recent, but this month might bring memories of the lost loved one in your life. This could be, because you could be, this could be, the month could be having like the date of their funeral. But yes, I think this is going to be a month when the memories of the lost loved one are going to be more potent. Another thing that I feel is that I think in the first half of the entire year, people in this pile have really struggled with their emotions, and there has been like a whirlpool of emotions, where they have been both upset, they have been let down by life, they felt shortchanged by their destiny. And now I think this month onwards you will feel very, very ready to like get back up again. It might come with tiny bumps. Okay, it's almost like that, you'll be ready and then suddenly you'll feel, but am I ready? Like, should I really be doing this? But it's okay. Like, it's a decent energy to be in, so that's all right. I do feel as if your grieving period, or the period of disappointment, at least in your mind, it's going to get over now. You will maybe now get back up again, and decide to take matters in your own hands, decide to take charge of your life. Okay. For very few, I also kind of feel that, there might be few people in this pile for whom maybe certain wounds are fresh or their healing process, because healing is not linear, right? Just because you're watching a video doesn't mean, oh my god, everybody's going to be healed. So for some, I feel like your grieving period is going to continue a little bit more, at least this month. It's going to spill over in the month of August. There is something about wanting to rest. Interesting, I'm getting another message. I think some people in this file have been for a very long in a very survival mode, okay? The flight, fight, freeze response was getting activated continually. And I think August becomes also the month where you would very practically decide that, hey, this is how I function, this is how my emotions function, this is how my body functions, and if I want rest, I'm gonna take rest. So I do see that discernment or that practical outlook to also that I don't have to push so hard, I don't have to hustle all the time. It's okay to rest it out, it's okay to want a time out. I think that's also going to be a theme for a lot of people. This might also be advice for few people, because you don't want to get into burnout. And I do see burnout being a prominent theme for few people here. So yes, listening to your body, learning to rest it out, avoiding burnout by being smart about it. Read up a little bit on nervous system regulation, emotional regulation, taking it slow. This is your first message for August. For a few others, the ones who resonated with the grief part, you might be grieving in the month of August about the loss of some loved ones, or generally how you've been in your life, how life has been towards you, or this is the period when you will be done with the grief and you would be ready to move up and take charge. And before that, what I said was that it's important, at least in this month, that you embrace your true self. And that's where the communication card comes into the picture, that you would be happily embracing your authentic self. You would be ready to speak up. Interesting. Now, other two messages that I have here is a very good emotionally healing month. Okay, I also feel some of you are going to travel, and the travel will be very auspicious. It'll be rejuvenating. You would feel, oh my god, how much I really needed to travel. Like, you will just realize that a part of you just had to travel to feel happy. So I do see travel being a very important theme. I also feel as if this is going to be a very beautiful month for you in terms of how you emotionally balance yourself. You're going to be very proud of yourself that you have been able to find out time to rest it out. You have been able to also have time where you're able to be emotionally available to other people, and at the same time you have your own time also, and how you are with your own self in your personal space. That also you will feel like, I'm very emotionally balanced, I'm emotionally aware, I'm mentally balanced. So I think it's a good period of mental health, dude, this entire month. The first few days or the first few 1 week, 1.5 week might be like, okay, I really don't know what's happening, bit overwhelmed, and I think you will find balance by the end of the month. So that's another thing that I'm seeing. Now, there's one very specific message for people who are in business. This is your month. I think you're really going to take a lot of calculated practical steps towards ensuring that your strategy and your tactics that you need to deploy in your business are just on point. You will have a very satisfying month if you're doing your own thing and if you're in your business. You will also feel very proud of yourself about the fact that, how I've become so practical, how I really know how to get things done. I'm also hearing something about emotional quotient. Like, suppose if you run your own business, then of course as one of the leadership skills you require your EQ to be very much on point, right? You should know how to get the work done from juniors, your vendors, and even the ones like who are your clients, or the ones who are maybe at a senior level to you. I think your communication is going to be very on point. You would really know how to get things done from people, how to communicate with them, and how to ensure they understand what you need. So that's for people in business. People who are in jobs, I think you're going to be given a bunch of responsibilities and you're going to prove your mettle. You're going to be good at fulfilling those responsibilities, and people might just see your leadership side and they might feel very impressed by you. They would love how you get the work done, how organized you are, how sorted you are, how intelligent you are, and how you have a very long-term vision to doing work. That's amazing. I also feel like, emotionally now it doesn't matter if you're married, not married, single, or whatever, or you're dealing like with a bunch of friends, however, like just take however this resonates emotionally. I think you're going to become very emotionally practical in this month. I like emotionally practical people. So I also feel as if, you're going to be really aware whom I'm giving my energy to, my emotional energy. Are these the people, are these the friends, are these the colleagues who really deserve it? If they do, what do I get back from them? Do I get something back from them? Am I okay not having anything from them? Do I want something from them? Like, do I have expectations? Are they meeting those? I think you're going to be like really aware of where your energy goes, your emotional and mental headspace goes, and you would want to be aware of that. It's like, you're choosing now to be very aware of whom are you investing in. I'm very proud. That's amazing. Okay, there was another message because okay, when I was like looking at the card of communication, I almost felt like I told you, I felt a lump in my throat, which basically made me feel as if there's still going to be a little bit of a tiny roadblock or like a bump that you have to hit before you become like this self who's like, oh, I want to express myself authentically. So this is why I also feel that it's interesting, I intuitively thought that this is a card that might pop out. We have the card of Varaha, which is one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu. And Brahma creates, Vishnu sustains, and Shiva destroys. When Vishnu sustains, what does it mean? That we need the energy of Vishnu to live the life that we have to live. The householder life, in the times of Kali Yuga, in the times, where we have to be very calculative, and we should have our reasons of being calculative. We should know how to slightly manipulate through situations and be able to live a more fulfilling, enriching life. And this is where I got this card of Varaha, which is one of the avatars of Vishnu. And basically, it's a beautiful story. So Varaha saved all of us, saved the earth by pulling the earth out from water. Which means what? That there was, and I'll not go very detailed into the story, but basically Varaha brought the earth out of the water, and that's where a symbolic meaning of this is that the knowledge that you have within, the wisdom that you have within, even when it comes to like, maybe I've always known that I should be more practical with people, I should stop investing into people, oh, I need to let go of my grief now, I need to become more practical, I need to be more strong when it comes to dealing with work. All of that knowledge is now going to come out in this month for you. So I do feel as if you have the energetic support of Varaha, who is helping you. And if you don't really believe in God or don't really believe in like any deity, then this becomes an advice that this is what you need to do. There is a lot within you. It's time it comes out. And August is a beautiful month for that. So you're going to be using all your wisdom and all your knowledge to practically bring it to use. I'll read out a bunch of things on the card. Banishment of fear, protecting world's ecology, intelligent use of world's resources, freedom from the fear of dirt and darkness. But apart from what's written on the card, the real meaning of this is that you bring out your inner wisdom, you bring out your inner true self outside, okay? Which is also to do with the fact that you may have like a lot of things that you already know, but you never had the confidence to bring it out. This is a month of confidence. Confidence is a good word. I like it looking at the cards also. This is the month of feeling confident in your destiny, in your luck, and in yourself, and bring your true self out. So yeah. Okay. Now, couple of last few messages. We have the gavel here, which says involvement with the law. Interesting, because we do have the card of Emperor also here. So I don't know if somebody's dealing with the law or somebody is having some sort of loss when it comes to a legal dealing, okay? Because I do see the card here of disappointment, grief, okay? So maybe somebody is not going to have a good run-in with the law. Be careful. If you're dealing with some legal case or something, you might have to be really practical, strategic, and tactical. Emotions are not going to work, and you might have to use your emotions also a little bit manipulatively. So that's one message. Then butterfly, a change for the better. Interesting. There's not the card that says that, but yeah, maybe there's a change that might happen in your life that will be for better. I also feel this is also for people like who are now like feeling this restless, uneasy energy. They don't know what to do with the stored energy. It's almost like the cards are telling you that please bring that change, bring the change that you need for better. Okay, then we have I, which says psychic ability, trust your intuition. Interesting. You trust your intuition and then you bring it out in a practical form. Okay, so it's really about like trusting your own gut feeling and then seeing how can I use it for my benefit. Then we have four-leaf clover, great good fortune, nice. Then we have dogs getting together with friends. We do have some other cards here that kind of suggest this. So yeah, I do feel it's going to be a good month overall. There would be periods where you would just feel, oh, I'm so overworked, I'm exhausted, and then suddenly there would be a dip. That is just a balance you'd have to make. And lastly, work on bringing your authentic true self outside. Work on expressing yourself fully in full capacity. Let's head to your message from the book. I'm using the book Daring Greatly. This is by Brené Brown. Absolutely love Brené Brown. It says how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. Okay, it's one of the best-selling books by her. I'm going to flip through the pages. We need some message for pile number 1. Interesting. Okay, I'm reading this. This is page 141. I wasn't raised with the skills and emotional practice needed to lean into discomfort. So over time, I basically became a take the edge offaholic. They don't have meetings for that. And after some brief experimenting, I learned that describing your addiction that way is a traditional 12-step meeting that doesn't always go well with the purists. For me, it wasn't just the dance hall, school beer, Marlboro lights of my youth that got out of hand. It was banana bread, chips and queso, email, work, staying busy, worrying, planning, perfectionism, and anything else that could dull those agonizing, anxiety-fueled feelings of vulnerability. Dude, this is very interesting. When I started reading, I actually thought that I don't know if it's making sense or not. 1 minute, I'll just take a picture also so I can put it out for you guys. Let me see if there's some other para also that catches my eye. Then I'll explain you what was written in this para. I want to read this, okay? We believe that the most terrifying and destructive feeling that a person can experience is psychological isolation. It's not the same thing as being alone. It is a feeling that one is locked out of the possibility of human connection and of being powerless to change the situation. And such a situation can lead to a sense of hopelessness and desperation. People do anything to escape this combination of isolation and powerlessness. And to deal with it, we try numbing techniques like addiction, self-injury, eating disorders, or like it said, investing too much in making queso, banana bread, chips, etc. Okay, this is very interesting, okay? And I love how it really ties back to the message that you guys had. You know, we spoke about grief and I spoke about nervous system regulation and, you know, like how you may feel very tired and you will realize like whom to give your energy to. I feel some people in this pile might also be overdoing into living a full and a richer life. You know, like the weekends need to be really planned. Oh, now, you know, for weekend I need to either finish this book or I need to make banana bread or I also need to take care of my hobbies. If I love cooking, if I love something else. I think many people in this pile might be like really over investing into living a rich and a fuller life. And that is maybe because many people in this pile could be feeling a bit of lonely. And that's where maybe the grief card also came in. Feeling a little bit left out. Not really having like the right set of people who are like your immediate go-to comfort people. And I think what you're doing is instead of sitting with that feeling and embracing that feeling, maybe you're filling it with multiple other activities. And that is something also that you need to be mindful of. And this is where also your honest communication and expression comes into the picture, where it's okay to accept that no, what I'm feeling is actually lonely only, and what I need is actually a human connect only. I don't want to fill it with my banana bread, and I don't want to stay busy, and I don't want to like harp on perfectionism or cleaning home, etc., or traveling. I do need a human connect. And when you sit with that feeling for long enough, that's where the solution comes from. I don't know who needed to hear this, but this is very interesting, okay? And I like how it really tied back into the reading. And I don't know if I've explained it properly enough. I hope I have. I'm going to put a picture of this also. If not, put in the comments below. I'll see that if I can explain it more. So, yep, that was it. Pile number 1. That was your reading for August. Please let me know if any part of it resonated or any part of it you want should come true. Do comment below. Your comments help me in expanding my reach. Keeps me motivated to make these videos. And yeah, I'll see you in your next one. Okay, bye. Hi, pile number 2. If you chose this card, then this is your reading. The card that you chose says Influence, number 25. Okay, few initial thoughts that I have to get out of my way before I go card by card. I feel as if a lot of people in this pile had a very gruesome and disturbing last few weeks or months. You almost felt as if, there was some energy block or some block in life or some karmic block that was stopping you from reaching your potential, right opportunities, right people. You must have gone through a very dark period, almost feels like that, you went through a period where you feel, oh my god, I was at my rock bottom and now I feel like I'm resurging again. So I do feel for many, this could have been the case in the last few months. And I would not deny there was definitely some sort of energetic clearing happening, because I have the card of Ganga here, which is purification from sin. So I also feel maybe some of you are already thinking of planning a trip to Haridwar, Rishikesh, Devrayag, or you may have seen a lot of content around that. I feel maybe some of you could be listening to the song that's getting popular on Instagram Reels, right? Har Har Gange. So there might be a feeling to go and visit Ganga or some water body, a spiritual water body. So I do feel as if, yes, there was some energetic clearing that was happening. Okay, now before I jump into tinier things, for few people again who resonated with this, and maybe for others also, what you need to understand is that I think August is going to be a month where you will be in this dual space of how to function. A part of you is going to be scared. A part of you is suddenly believing everything to be from the lens of that, nothing is permanent and I can't get excited by anything. I can't be someone, who's just seeing things on the face value, and I should always be prepared for the worst. Okay, that's all I'm hearing. And the other part of you is going to be, hey, but finally after so long, good things are happening in my life. I feel like it's going to go in the right direction now from here. So should I not be happy? So I feel like you're going to be conflicted with this duality in the month of August 2024. I also feel some people are going to be conflicted when it comes to their householder and their spiritual side. Like a part of you would just feel, oh, I want to just leave it all, maybe visit some temple, maybe go on a spiritual trip, I want to find God, or I want to read more and more about spirituality. And for some of you, and for the same people, you might also be questioning that, but this is not cool. I am supposed to live a life, I'm supposed to earn my money, I'm supposed to have a lifestyle that I'm habituated of. So there might be a bit of conflict between your spiritual and your materialistic side. Typical Rahu Ketu axis. Interesting. Some people may have Ketu in their 7th house or Ketu in their Lagna in this pile. I also feel in your transit chart, some people in this pile may have Ketu in their transit. Ketu moon conjunction is also possible, just like for this year, in your Varshpal, the horoscope that is made only for your year, from your birth date to the birth date of next year. I think you may have a Ketu moon conjunction or Ketu sitting in your Lagna. And almost to say as if your bad phase of Saturn is ending now. Yay. Always a good news, right? Okay. We get back to your cards now. Okay, bunch of messages that I have here. The first being influence. What I do feel is as if it'll be a socially exhausting month or socially demanding month. Will it be exhaustive? That you decide for yourself. I do feel, looking at the pile, you're very good at like balancing things. So you would know like when to pull out from the social commitments also, and when to be there, in what capacity. So I do feel it might be a socially demanding month. One thing to be careful of is, I think now is a good time to actually choose the people you're hanging out with, or be aware of how much you want to give to each of these social groups or these people in your life. Because I don't know if you can see it, but there are these cigarette butts also on this card. So what I'm guessing is that you don't want to entertain something that may not serve you well long term. This could be gossip, this could be zero value adding conversations, this could be habits like smoking, and especially like it happens a lot in corporate and colleges, right? Like you want to make friends, but then everybody's bonding over cigarettes, and that's why you also start smoking, and then bam, 10 years later you realize, fuck, I can't leave smoking. Alcohol. So I do feel as if being very aware of who's in your energy field, who's in your aura, who's in your circle, is something you are going to do in the month of August. So instead of it being an advice, this is almost as if it's coming like a prediction to me that you're going to be like very careful about who really needs to be in your energy field. And I kind of also feel this might also to be with habits. I do feel some people in this pile who have been thinking about leaving smoking, they might take a good break from smoking. I never say leaving smoking. Why? Because it's the most difficult, honestly. But yes, you might take a break from smoking for a long period, or you might actually decide that, okay, I don't want to continue smoking. Or any sort of other addiction, shopping addiction, money, how you're handling your money, alcohol. I think you're going to be like very aware and mindful in this month. Who's in your energetic field, or what is in your energetic field? Wrong habits, you're going to bid by. Wrong people, you're going to bid by. Or even if you are with people who are not really aligned with you, you would know exactly how much of energy to be giving to them. Interesting. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Quick predictions that I have for you. You want to see the card? Everybody just wants to see this card, right? In their readings. Okay, interesting. I do feel some people who have been at least struggling with the whole spirituality and materialism debacle in their mind, you're going to have a lot more intimate relationship with your faith this month. I think with the higher power, God, faith, whatever it is that you believe in, you're going to have a lot more closer relationship with them this month. You're going to actively take steps to ensure that you have a connection and relationship there. For many, I feel people who have had a breakup, or like, who are just being generally single for long, but also had a very skewed lens on understanding romance and relationships. I think this is the month where it's like, oh, the wrong notions are being washed away, and now everything is crystal clear. So you're going to have a lot more healthily intimate relationship with yourself. You're going to feel very emotionally balanced. You would be in this space, where you would exactly know what is it that you seek in the kind of person that you want in your life. I also feel as if, some of you will get opportunities where there are going to be other people who might like show interest in you, and you may not entertain it, which will be interesting to you, because as your pattern, you may have entertained casual flings, hookups, just for funsies, believing that, maybe I'll never even find anybody perfect. So it's okay to go the route of casual. I think this month you're going to be very careful, because you want to have your reasons right. And I think you will have your reasons of why you don't want to entertain any funky business when it comes to romance. Suddenly, I think, this year is where, this month, I don't know why I said this year. I do feel both this year and this month, you may have had this realization that, for me to really find like the right kind of partner, I need to have the right kind of outlook and right kind of behavioral patterns when it comes to romance. I think you're going to work towards it in this month. And predictively, the card also says some of you may actually be catching eye of someone this month. I think someone's going to be interested in you. And I think they're going to pursue you. I do feel as if they're going to pursue you. It might be very slow. You might start feeling, I feel as if, people in this pile are also very intuitive, and you might immediately realize that, is that them? It can also be for few, an arranged setup where you meet somebody and you realize that, hey, this feels nice, this feels good. And you would have the other person also equally, consistently participating into getting to know you. Yeah. For single people, I feel something is gonna brew this month. I'll keep it ambiguous. You come and tell me later in the comment box, okay? Love happy news is. Okay. And for all those who are in a relationship, I think great month. Better relationship with your partner. A lot of the nonsense that may have happened in the last few weeks or last few months is literally coming to an end. I also kind of feel as if, your partner was also somebody who was kind of like discovering themselves in the last few months, and they have also like grown a little bit differently. They have evolved, they have changed, and they were kind of wanting you to understand this change within them. But they didn't know how to show it because they were struggling with it themselves. And I think now it's like that, you both are just going to be out there. You both have understood each other. You both have like understood the evolution period that each of you were going through individually and growing in the relationship, and now you're going to come back and meet each other as these new individuals. So I do feel it's a great time for people who are in a relationship. I also feel some people are going to be trying to think about, how do we expand our family? Do we have animals as our kids, or do we really want to have kids? So yeah, that's on this. I feel growth is going to be a very important theme for you this month. Whatever you do in your life, you will just feel, my God, I've grown, dude. Like, you're going to be so happy with yourself that I have really grown. I have like incorporated the wisdom in my life. So it's no more just intellectualized here. I'm actually putting it into action. I'm showing it by breaking my own patterns, by being so aware and mindful of my choices. I think you're going to love yourself in the month of August. And yeah, if I look at the Lovers card, it might literally mean that you're going to love yourself in the month of August. I also feel as if, like what I said, like the last few months or weeks must have been like really daunting, as if, you were like paying off some really heavy karmic karmic debt in your life. And I think now it's going to be like, that sigh of relief that, oh, I can live again. This is like a second inning for me, or like, a gift of new life for me by God. I hear that. Okay. Other messages, like I said, socially demanding month. Everybody is just want to be like wanting to have a little piece of you. Everybody would be like, hey, we want to meet you, we want to know you. And I think generally at work also, this might be like a very work-wise demanding month, because you would be expected to handle multiple things, or like really know things a lot more quickly. You might be just simply dumped. You might experience like, where multiple things are simply dumped on you, okay? And you will be able to pick it up, but then you might just feel that, oh my God, I didn't even realize when the day started and when the day ended, when the week started and when the week ended. So I see that. Some energy with animals and pets here, very strong one. It's like a part of you is just going to figure some way or the other to spend more time with your pets. If you have pets at home, you're going to do like a bunch of activities with your pets. You might generally take more care of your pets. You might feel like spending more time with them. Forgiveness. I just heard forgiveness. Almost like in the last few months, whatever's happened in your life, it must have also taught you forgiveness and a lot more compassion and empathy for people who may have at one point wronged you. I spoke that so fast. So, parents, generational trauma, things that have till date shaped up your life, I think you're learning. If you haven't already, I think from this month onwards, your journey of forgiveness, compassion and empathy is going to start, wherein you would also realize that it's okay to choose yourself, and you would learn the art of good detachment, that how you can still stay connected to certain bonds, family, etc., but at the same time have your own distinct identity. Beautiful, beautiful blend. I also feel some people are really going to be thinking a lot about the next steps in their life. And I also feel this is a whole Rahu Ketu conjunction that's, axis problem that's happening, okay? I genuinely feel some people in this pile are so confused between, oh, I don't want to be spiritual, or oh, no, I want to like focus on materialism, and I think this tug of war will keep on playing. However, like I said, I feel as if some people by the end of the month or maybe like somewhere in the middle of the month, I'm going to make this promise to themselves that I need to give time to my spiritual practices. And I think you would. For many others, I think you might actually start questioning now with yourself that what is it that you truly want to do next. This is your message for your career. So where does your passions lie? Where does your interest lie? And I think many of you are going to like start putting down the foundation of making a big switch in your career. This could be industry transition also. This could be just a job switch also, something that's with better money. Many of you know you might want to go to like a more richer organization, where they have like good policies, they have good learning opportunities. So I think that's going to be an ask of many of you from universe. And for that, you will have to first sit with yourself and understand what is it that you truly want to do. So I do see a period of introspection, and I also feel for people who are going to get hit on by other people, and like, all these little conversations of romance might open up. They will also open up few wounds, few fears, and you might have to have a chat with yourself about understanding that, what do I really want? Am I ready for love? The love that I've always craved? Do I know how to love? Is there something I need to fix within myself? And this is where I feel, journey of growth is also going to start for many of you. Where now you're going to cater to the garden within, to yourself. And this is where forgiveness, compassion for all the people who gave you that trauma, family issues, you'll be happy to let them go now. Because now you really want to move forward in your life in this month. Interesting. I do feel as if for many of you, it's going to be also a conversation about, I really want to pursue my passion, but I'm not getting enough time for it. Or how do I go about pursuing my passion and giving it more time along with the main career that I have. So that might be a thing. Or this might also be for certain hobbies that you want to achieve. So yeah, that's on that. Now I have these beautiful tea leaf cards. Going to read them out one by one. Whale, great worry over nothing. Oh, this is so interesting. With the hermit card here that I have, actually great worry over nothing makes sense. Oh, you know what? I think I said it in the starting also, right? Because you've come through such a bad period, so your mind is going to be very conflicted about the fact that, I should just be prepared because this all is so temporary and it can just go away. It will feel like too good to be true this month. So that's why great worry over nothing. Hilarious. Firecracker, excitement. Of course, there's going to be a lot of excitement. I also feel this is that, and I do actually feel, like something in my stomach the moment I looked at this card. So I do feel this is that whole butterflies in stomach sort of a feeling also. And generally feeling more excited by the possibilities of life. But then again, telling yourself, oh, you know what? Take care. It's just temporary. Nothing is permanent. This might change ever. And I think you're just going to be in this conflict. Older man, dealings or relationship with an older man, so interesting. We have a man here, and then we have the Lovers card. Then generally the other cards also, the Hermit and Ten of Pentacles that we have here on the table, they do have men as representation. Now, if you're a male, this man could also mean somebody senior at your work, your father. Forgiving your father is what I also heard. And if you're a woman, this man again could mean all those things, along with the fact that it could be somebody entering in your life. If you're a guy who's looking to find love, I do feel as if you might have to showcase a more mature, consistent and emotionally available side of yourself. It should not be anything about like your own emotional doubts anymore, which is interesting, now that I connected to the other card. Some of you, like I said, all these feelings of romance might like rile you up and make you question things. So for men here, the advice would also become, be the main man. Be the man who knows how to be consistent, who knows how to receive love and show love, and who knows how to be there in a relationship with someone. Okay, then we have temporary situation. I think some or the other nonsense issues, whatever they crop up, just tell yourself through the month that, this is all temporary. And keep your spiritual practices closer. Dog barking. Advice from a friend. Interesting, it says dog barking. The moment I saw it, I felt like as if, there's some people who are going to be giving you also unsolicited advice. And that's where you might Meet a friend who might give you like the right advice. Be careful. Use your intuition. Do not let random advices get to you. Oh wow, unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Just connects, dude. Everything just connects. So, yes, be careful of unsolicited advices and use your intuition. Even when you want to reach out to somebody for good advice, use your intuition. Okay? I don't know why I feel like saying keep certain things to yourself this month. Don't let everybody know everything about you. Learn to handle a bit of things alone yourself this month. I feel like as something some people need to hear it. Okay, now what is the deity or energetic protection around you? Okay, for those who don't believe in God, we have Ganga and Yam. See, Ganga, though, I definitely feel some people might be really feeling very drawn to go to Haridwar or like visit Dev Prayag or like one of these places, or like a place with like a water, a spiritual place with a water body. And I also feel for many of you, whatever you were going through in the last few months might be like so heavy as if it was really some karmic debt that you were paying off. So good, all that is over now. Then we have Yam, which is the Lord of Death. And in tarot or anything, we never see death as death. How we see it is knowing cause and effect, knowing the law of the land, the law of karma, and knowing that death is basically beginning of something new, right? Like in the concepts of Hinduism, when you die, you go into a new life, right? So how we see death in tarot is that it's transformation. It's uncomfortable change, but it's a lovely change that you will love it once you have gone through it. Okay, so I'm going to read out the card also. Knowledge of law, righteousness in action, overcoming the fear of death, steadfastness in the face of judgment. I do feel your intuition is something you need to hold on closer this month. And like I said, there are parts of you that you need to kill. When it comes to romance, there are parts of you that you need to kill probably to attract and to be able to receive the romance also in your life and to be able to give it to the right people. There is some conversations you need to have about your passions, on how to tread forward in life, and also the part of you that maybe carried resentment for people who have given you traumatic experiences or who have always made you feel unheard, unloved. I think kill that part, because now that's from where compassionate, empathic part is going to rise up. So yes, death of your old self and giving birth to the new you. I'm going to read out the Ganga card also. Purification from sin, pacification from worldly desires, liberation at the time of death, remedy for physical disease. So interesting. It's almost like that, your Ketu side is via the tarot telling you that whatever happens in life, go with the flow. Because ultimately, you're just being liberated from your sins. Interesting. Okay, now I'm going to give you the message from the book. Today I'm using this book, which is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. How the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent and lead. And 1 minute. Okay. Just need to move this. Okay. For pile number 2, what is the message with the card of influence? Here. I've chosen page 88, 89. I'm going to also put a snapshot of this in the video later. When I think of my own efforts to be everything to everyone, something that women are socialized to do, I can see how every move I make just ensnares me even more. Every effort to twist my way out of the web just leads me to becoming more stuck. Be perfect, but don't make a fuss about it. And don't take time away from anything, like your family or your partner, to achieve your perfection. Don't upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings, but say what's on your mind. Dial the sexuality way up, but dial it down before the PTO meeting. Just be yourself, but not if it means being shy or being unsure. There's nothing sexier than self-confidence. Don't make people feel uncomfortable, but be honest. Don't get too emotional, but don't be too detached either. Too emotional and you're hysterical, too detached and you're cold-hearted bitch. So the associations of being feminine is being nice and pursuing everything that's around femininity, which is being domestic, caring, romance, sexual intimacy. Basically, women are told to stay small, sweet, and quiet. and dreams, ambitions, and gifts are unimportant. Interesting. I'm going to pull out one more message and then I'm going to explain this. Not getting the feeling of another message. Okay, is there any other message? Okay, gonna read this. When the people we love or with whom we have a deep connection stop caring, stop paying attention, stop investing, and stop fighting for the relationship, trust begins to slip away and hurt starts seeping in. We may tell a disengaged partner, you don't seem to care anymore. But without evidence of this, the response is, I'm home from work every night by 6 p.m. I tuck in the kids. I do so much. So what do you want more from me? Interesting. Okay. So the previous part spoke about that, how there's a lot of expectations of society from women. I will keep it gender agnostic. There are a lot of expectations of society from both the genders. And even if you don't identify with either of the genders, and the expectations from you are even more, right? The first expectation being that fit into the box. So, tying it back to the messages that you had, I think this is also, and I constantly spoke of Rahu Ketu axis, and I think there's a fight happening between the Rahu Ketu sides, or you're living like a life of duality, it might go away. I like how this also connected with that message of duality, that as a person, it'll take you a little bit of while to embrace who you truly are without caving into the societal expectations. And I think this is where the Hermit and the Queen of Cups card also came into the picture. It's almost like trying to find your true self, who it is that you are, and being happy with whoever it is. If you are somebody who's not very expressive and the world thinks of you as somebody who's cold-hearted asshole, it shouldn't matter to you. Because maybe you express only to people that deserve your expression or that understand your expression. So I do feel as if, via the message, connecting it with everything in the cards, this is also the time to be very aware about who it is that you are. And as long as you are comfortable with it, it shouldn't matter what other people think about it, right? And then coming on to the second message, which is talking about, this, how do you deal with a disengaged partner, or how it is that you go about understanding love of other people when suddenly they are also caught up and busy in their life. I think this message specifically came for people who resonated with the whole forgiving the people who have given you the trauma and compassion. I do feel as if, this is going to be the start of the time where you would now see them as humans first and not as somebody who just hurt you. You would see them as people who are maybe in their own struggle, who have had a difficult time themselves in learning a lot. And I think this is where the compassion will come into the picture. So yes, I hope the message from the book also resonated. And it did actually tie in well to whatever we had here. And yeah, please make sure that you comment, like, and share this video with your friends and family. I can really use my channel getting monetized. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this card, then this is your reading. You've chosen the card of upheaval. Because of just this card, I did not put the cards up front. I chose their backside because I was like, if I'll put upheaval, then nobody will pick up this card. But maybe somebody really needs to hear messages in this card. So I'm going to show you the card again. We'll start by talking about this card first and then other things. Okay. Something I think must have happened in July. Or something feels like may happen a little abruptly in the month of August for you. Okay? Which is going to be a bit of a shake-up moment in your life. I feel this is related to finances, seeing the other cards. There might be a bit of a financial pinch. There might be something to do with a home loan, or the fact that, somebody is trying to build their house and that's why they're having to work a lot harder. Payment is not coming from some place. If you're a business, if you're in a job, I do feel there are going to be some rise in financial expenses or financial goals. Maybe it's all going to be great, but you're like, oh, this is not enough. I want to have nicer finances to pursue my bigger goals. So I do feel as if finances and working towards stability of your home, stability towards being able to provide for your family if you're a guy, and even if you're a woman, stability towards being able to provide for your family, building security. Yeah, security is the word. Building security is going to be major for you in the month of August. It almost feels like as if some of you could have been laid off from your jobs, could have had to move cities very abruptly or randomly, or you might be in a very impulsive mode in your life where you might feel like, oh, I just want to like leave my job. But please don't be silly, stick it out. Because I do feel as if August is going to be a difficult month, both financially and in terms of challenges that it's going to throw your way. Dealing with a lot of external sources so that you can protect your dealing with a lot of external forces so that you can protect your internal sanctity and your people, your family, your children. I think that's going to be like a very prominent theme or thought in your mind in August. Wow. So good in the last two piles, and suddenly this pile. In fact, you'll not believe I was getting like so many weird messages in this pile. I literally took a pen on paper and started writing like whatever I was getting. So I'll also get this out of the way. 21 as a date might be very important, or 21 as a number might be important. I don't know what 21 has to do with something, but yeah, 21, 21. 21, 22. Oh, I feel like, as if somebody is like saying something in my ear. Weirdly intuitive messages coming to me for this pile. Interesting. Okay, 21, 22, 22, 21. Yeah, I don't know what this number means. Too much time would be spent by you in trying remedies. What I almost heard? Almost like that, let me just go and knock at every temple and every god's door. I think you will be wasting a lot of your precious time and headspace in understanding remedies, understanding the whys and hows of life. I also feel as if, some of you might just invest too much time in trying to learn something like tarot, astrology. Usually I encourage it almost all the time, but for this pile I'm kind of getting this message: have your reasons right. The curiosity to know about why things are happening certain way in your life is good, but learning something just to know that, I don't think you will be able to complete it. I think there would be blocks in that. I don't think you'll enjoy it. I don't know why I feel like saying this of you. I don't think you'll enjoy it. Whatever it is you're trying to do spiritually, or whatever it is that you're trying to do in the occult space, I think right now the reason is not coming from a healthy or a right place. I don't think it'll bloom or give you the kind of result that you seek right now. So I would not say not do it. Of course, you all should do it, but maybe just hold it off till this air of August has cleared from your life. Then I heard words like be brave, stay loyal, and here I mean like loyal to your life goals, to your life, stay disciplined. There is some sort of cosmic order that's in the play. I don't know why I feel as though some of you already knew this was coming. Like some of you just had a very weird feeling or an intuition as if, oh, it's going to get harder. Oh, I would have to pull my weight. I would really have to take charge. And I think you were just kind of like ignoring it or not taking it as seriously, thinking, I don't know, what should I do? Maybe when it'll happen, I'll know. And I think this is the time. This month is going to be that time for you. Do feel financial pinch to be very strong, taking charge of responsibilities of home, of life towards your people. Very strong. I do feel by end of the August, you might get like a fabulous opportunity, a work opportunity, something that will sort you out financially a little bit. But that's also to say you would really have to work hard for it. And for some of you, it might also be a little away from where you are currently. Something that you didn't want also, maybe. Like, maybe you never wanted to move to Singapore, example, and you get an opportunity in Singapore. Or you never wanted to move to Bangalore in India, but you get an opportunity in Bangalore. You might have to take something like that. So I do feel as if a good opportunity is going to come your way if only you really work towards it, because this is the month when you would really have to work towards everything. Write down a list of your goals. Like right after this video, write down 4 to 5 achievable goals, okay, just that you want to complete in the month of August, and then start at it. And that's only how you're going to make your August worthwhile and fruitful, if that is your aim. I also feel as if this month is going to demand a lot of you, exhaustingly. You would just have to be there on your toes, bringing your A game every moment, every second. You would feel very tired. You would also really crave silence, quiet. You would crave a break. I don't think you'll get it. And I think the only respite is going to be the little moments, with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends, that are going to be like those happy moments. I think you will really party it out a lot on weekends, because you're like, all through the week, I work so hard. Some of you may even have Saturdays working, And then that's why suddenly over the weekend, you're going to be like, what, this is my day, and I'm going to like really rage and have fun. No, not rage, rave, right? Sorry. So yeah, yes. Overall, I do feel this is not a great month for you, but this is also not to scare you or anything. I don't think something is really going bad or wrong. I just feel this is just a month, it will just feel very heavy, irritating. It'll feel like, things are just not going my way. And I thought by this time I would be a little bit more sorted, but I do feel as if something is going to come up which might also shake things up a little bit more than you imagined. I don't know, was that a bird that just flew from there? You know why? Because in my mind I was just thinking of a thought, and I was like, okay, give me a sign. And if that was a bird, then okay, whatever I just said right now is the sign. Something is going to happen in August which will shake your outlook towards how you take charge of things, your finances. I kind of also feel as if, some people in this pile really need to understand that the lifestyle you live versus the bank balance you have are two different things. You need to have a solid bank balance and not just a great lifestyle. Go back to the old ways of living your life. Live within your means. I don't think some people in this pile have been really living within their means, which is normal, right? Like we have so much of disposable income now. There's a rise in consumerism, so we all want a LV or a Gucci or Guess, but we may not really have the means for that, and we feel that okay, this is fine. I think now is the time, when you would actually start being more aware about what long-term financial planning is, and you might really choose to live within your means, and maybe from within your means also you would really want to like save a huge chunk and spend little on your lifestyle. So I kind of see that happening. Almost feels like life is teaching you something. It's teaching you the value of money. It's teaching you that your Shukra phase is temporary too. What is Venus? Venus is wealth. Venus is beauty. Venus is... Yeah, I do feel that. Interesting. I do feel as if, the Venus in your chart could be conjunct with Saturn, could be aspected by Saturn, maybe in the transit horoscope, like for your year, the Varshapal. But I think it's like your Venus is the one that's going to be teaching you the lesson now, which is that, hey, it's not always great wealth, great beauty, great everything. It's also about responsibility. Are you deserving of it? Yeah. Almost like, you could have just enjoyed your life from a particular view with a particular outlook for very long. Or you could have lived your life in a particular outlook for very long. And now you will realize that, hey, I need to grow up. I need to just be more aware financially. I need to have a little bit more wisdom. I need to do things a little bit old school way. Yeah, I don't know why live within your means is kind of like stuck with me. But be brave, okay? Because the last card that I have here is really going to infuse good hope in you. Be brave. Just think of it as the cosmic order. Ebb and flow of life, right? If it goes up, it also goes down. Maybe your down period has been since a while, but it's okay. I'm sure it'll come up. Alright? I'm going to give you last few messages from the tea leaf cards. Bat, take care. Enemies are working against you. I don't think it's enemies per se. I do feel as if it's just, you might be one of those people who are saying as if, there's some energetic block. I don't think things are working out properly for me since a while. I feel like something is blocking me, or like it just feels a bit off energy wise. And I do feel that's true. You are going through some sort of a lesson. I would not decode much into it because you have to really go through the journey to pick up the lessons. Lobster, financial pinch. I don't know why, when I see lobster and this other card here, I kind of also feel as if some people in this pile might be going through a sudden matchmaking process, arranged marriage, and you might be immediately told to like, okay, now go explore with this person. If that happens, you have to come back and comment on this video, okay? Happiness. Okay, I feel as if, the happiness is going to be kind of like limited over the weekends, or like whenever you meet like certain people, like your friends or the good parts with your family. But otherwise, a part of you would be like craving stable happiness. I feel happiness is going to come in parts and go, like how a flower, when it's blooming, it's happy. When it's wilting, it's wilting. So I think like that's going to be the phase of your life this month. Blooms of happiness and then wilted moments. And sorry about that, but I have to say the truth. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. I do feel this is going to happen by the end of August. In the last week, maybe in the second week onwards, you might get some opportunity. Third week onwards, you might like feel more hopeful or whatever. But by fourth week, or maybe in the first few weeks of next month, is when you would actually see it all materializing. This would be an opportunity that again might bring the upheaval. Oh God, love cards. Love how it all connects. So what is this upheaval? You might be asked to move to a different city, a different domain, a different career industry, okay? Scales, keep your life in balance. I feel this is more to just do with the worry and the financial pinch and how you have been with your finances. Maybe tone down the lifestyle a little bit. Then wall, misunderstanding. I feel as if this is going to be just generally around with your partner, with yourself, with family. I don't know why I keep hearing as if you're going to be like very irritated with your own self. You will be like, oh, why did I have to understand all these things so late? I do feel as if some people, are ruled numerologically by Shukra, which is Venus, or they have some placement of Venus in their chart, which is now in conjunction with a planet like Mars, Rahu, or Saturn, is teaching you the ground, hard reality of life when it comes to wealth, living within your means, planning financially better, working towards your finances, taking charge, wanting to put in effort. Yeah, that's also something that's coming, as if a lot of people in this pile, have not like really been putting effort. Very few people in this pile now could be just doing like the bare minimum, or may not actually be working also, like maybe living off the means of like some other family member who's taking care of them. And I think suddenly like this month onwards, there would be like a need for you also to take charge. Message, of course, for very few. For a lot of others, I feel like your efforts till date have not been like yielding the right kind of result or whatever in your life. Might continue a little bit in this month also. You're being told to put in more efforts, be more hardworking. Then we have July. Did I say July in the start also? That, something must have happened in July or months up to that. Okay, anyway, July. I don't know what happened in July. But apparently, maybe you got the sign of all this happening in the month of July also. Then we have box. You will receive a gift. Ooh, lovely. I do feel, this gift might be like a gift from the universe, like some sort of opportunity for those who might be experiencing this financial pinch. Or it could also be a gift from your friend, which is cute. Did I already give the message of remedies? A lot of you might be like trying different remedies or knocking on different doors of temples and different things just to like sort something out. Don't do that. I don't know if I said it, but don't do that. The other things that I had written here were bravery, loyalty, discipline, and cosmic order. I think I've spoken about those. Now the last card that we have is Garud. Devotion to God, protection from snakes, security. Wow, protection from snakes. And it did say that you have enemies working against you, right? Security while traveling, improved ability to serve God. Garud is the carrier of Vishnu. Vishnu sustains, Brahma creates, Shiva destroys. What is sustenance? Living your life, paying the karmic duty and the karmic debts of life. We are here to live our life, to pay our karmic debts, to learn from it and then elevate. And I do feel with Garud coming here, because Garud also signifies ancestral curse, Pitradosh. And with the card of upheaval, I do feel as if there is some major karmic shift and karmic energetic clearing that will happen. I'm not saying it will happen in the month of August. August might be just a month when it gets started, or whatever you've been doing up until now, maybe from July onwards, it might have started. So I feel you're going to go through that period of, I think some people in this pile are going through their Sadesati, the 7.5 year period of Saturn. Or if you're in a family setup, your partner or somebody in your family who is basically the provider could be going through their Sadesati too. Could be you, could be somebody in your family. And I think that's why this is going to be a period of learning lessons, understanding things from a higher lens, and paying your karmic debt. And that's why maybe I felt like saying that, the Shukra period is over. It's almost like, the beauty of the Venus period is coming to an end, and the reality and the ground truth, the ground reality and the truth is going to hit you now. As lessons. Don't be scared. Things will be sorted eventually. But yes, slight period of upheaval for sure. Okay. Now today is this book that I'm referring to, Daring Greatly, the Courage to be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent and Lead. This is by Brené Brown. Absolutely love Brené Brown. You must check out her talks on TEDx platform, or I think TED Talks platform. Okay. Cool. Give a message for third pile, upheaval. Is there some message from this book that they need to hear? Okay, I'm reading this page. You can pause here and read it for yourself if you can see clearly. If not, I'll read it out. 104, the words we can never take back. Too close for missiles. I'm switching to guns. When I talk to couples, I can see how shame creates one of the dynamics most lethal to a relationship. Women who feel shame when they don't feel heard or validated resort to pushing and provoking with criticism. Why don't you ever do enough? You never get it right. Men in turn feel the shame when they feel criticized for being inadequate, and they shut down or come back with anger. It's so interesting. I almost held back from saying so, but I think I did say that, you could be somebody like who's maybe like not really working, but you have like somebody providing for you. I did mean like a stay-at-home partner or a stay-at-home mom. There was an energy of marriage that I was kind of picking in this pile. I did give the message in form of arranged marriage, but even for couples, I kind of feel as if, a unique period. Okay, I'll just complete the message first. I said, your pile is just making my intuition levels go a little berserk. For the first few years of our marriage, me and my partner fell into this pattern. I remember one argument where we were both angry beyond belief. After 10 minutes of endless chiding on my part, he turns to me and says, leave me alone for 20 minutes. I'm done. I won't do this anymore. When he shut and locked the door, I got so mad that I banged on the door and said, get back out here and fight with me. In that moment when I heard myself, I saw what was happening. He was on the verge of shutting down or raging, and I was feeling unheard and misunderstood. The result was mutual desperation. We learned that some of that are own of the things like the key to a good relationship is vulnerability, love, humor, respect, shame-free fighting and blame-free living. But we learned this on our own. And I think we all agree that the feeling of shame is an incredibly painful experience. We often don't realize that perpetrating shame is equally as painful. And you don't want that to happen via your partner, or this is something you don't want to do on your partner or your parent. Interesting. We cultivate love when we allow our most vulnerable and powerful selves to be deeply seen and known. And when we honor the spiritual connection that grows from the offering of trust, respect, kindness, and affection. Interesting. Wow. I also feel some people in this pile, might be questioning how can they contribute more to the finances in the home. Could be women, because stereotypically speaking, usually women are the ones who are stay-at-home partners, and men, especially in India, go out and work. Could be opposite also. But one person in the relationship could also be now thinking that how do they change things and how do they change their financial status by contributing to the relationship financially. Okay, coming back to this message, what I'm kind of seeing is as if, people need to understand, some people in this pile need to understand that because it's going to be a difficult period of upheaval, don't turn into this person who's blaming others for your luck or who's blaming your own self. When you're communicating with people, keep your communication very kind, with love, with empathy. Okay, you don't have to be this person, where if you're not feeling heard or validated, you shouldn't start criticizing or feel triggered or provoked. And if you're feeling that you're being criticized too much or you're being told that you're inadequate, do not shut down. Show your side. So I think healthier communication and practicing the kindness, love, and compassion first for yourself and then bringing out to others is one thing that this pile really needs to understand. I think maybe you've been very hard on yourself. You might be even more harder on yourself. You might project a lot of the things onto others. Or maybe just this entire situation might bring a little bit of upheaval in the family also, emotionally, and there would be like some not so happy conversations. So do not shame the people you love. Do not shame yourself, because there are certain words we can never take back. Alright, so that was it, pile number 3. I hope this resonated, and I'm sorry this was not one of the most positive messages that we had for you, but it's alright. Life does happen sometimes like that, and I hope but this prepares you to have a good month, to be very aware about being consistent in your efforts, working hard, and being kind and polite both to yourself and to people you love. Alright, thank you. Bye.